What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming.
All right, well, it has been many years, my friend, since I've been regularly doing any bulk videos outdoors, but maybe I'm gonna get started again with the Midday Monologue Mondays. I know about 3 years ago, my buddy Anthony was bugging me that I should get back to doing this. Sorry it took so long. So, that's better. I just feel like when people have sunglasses on and videos and stuff that they kind of look like D-bags. It's not that bright out. I don't need them. You would think the way they darkened up so fast that it was like bright as hell out here, but it's really overcast, as you can see. So, all right. I got a list of things that's been on my mind for Midday Monologue Mondays. I haven't filmed one in months. I was so far ahead of schedule. I still am, but I want to keep it that way. So, something has come to my attention. You see, I can be a completionist with certain games. Not everything in my collection. No, not everything. But there are several titles that I do consider myself completionist with. That no matter what comes out, I know I'm following this. 2, 4, 6, 8. I got about 10. I got about 10 titles. So I got about 10 titles. About 10 titles that I want to continue, no matter what. You know, I own way too many board games to be a completionist over every single one of them. That would get me divorced. And then out on the curb. Probably in that order. So I had to pick and choose. What are my favorites? What do I think will get some of the best reception from the 20-sided warriors, from my family, friends, from anyone who wants to game with me? But also, of course, what I think. But a bunch of things that I really want to follow to the grave. Looks like they have their own grave. It looks like some storylines are done. Now, not all of them. I mean, one of the things that I'm a completionist about is Marvel Champions, the card game. And as of this time right now, we've just had the Shield expansion drop about 3-4 weeks ago, which I wasn't too excited about. But I assume they're holding off on the Fantastic Four to closer coincide with the movie, right? But what's going to happen? As long as they have the IP, as long as they have control to make this game legally with the Marvel characters, I'm sure it's going to continue for a while. After the FF, I mean, I would really like to see the Midnight Suns. That's the next one after FF. Right now with Shield, I kind of feel like they're just forcing a filler spot on us, you know? Now, another Marvel title, actually I collect this in 2 different versions. The Villainous game. I collect both the Marvel and the Star Wars as a completionist. I think they're dead, as far as I can tell. So this is the beginning of March of 2025. And recording this right now, going online, looking at the Ravenburger site, looking to see what reviewers are talking about. Nothing. No more expansions for either of the Marvel Villainous or the Star Wars Villainous game. Star Wars, I mean, I'm not super familiar with a lot of the extra stuff after the canon of the originality of it all. But I'm assuming that there's some more villains that they could pull from there. And I know for a fact Marvel got tons. And like 2 of the biggest ones they haven't even touched on was Magneto and Red Skull. I mean, I would love to have seen them in Villainous. But both those Villainesses seem dead. There may be one more expansion coming out for Disney Villainous, but I don't follow that. So I'm not 100% sure. But when I was on the Ravensburger page, it looks like all of 2025, they might have one new title out coming. Sad. Very sad that those 2 are dead. Hero Quest. I'm a completionist over Hero Quest. Question is, should it die? I mean, is this just overblowing the situation? By this point right now, they've done all of the classic conversions to the new game system, right? With the exception of Wizards of Morcor, which will probably be Wizards of Zargon at this point. And they're already talking about that coming out next. So after that, they have nothing but original material. But aren't they flooded enough already? I'm beginning to feel like they kind of are flooded. I mean, with 6 small box games and the 6 big box expansion now coming out, that, I don't know, it just seems like a lot to me. I kind of feel like I'm being a completionist over it just to be a completionist over it at this point. But for right now, with everything else dying off, I might as well keep it on the list. Another one that I do believe is dead. And also, I don't know what else they could do with this title anyway at this point. And that's Return to Dark Tower. With the 3 expansions that they have, actually only 2 of them are real expansions. The other one is just miniatures. It's not really the game. You can have all the other 2 expansions without the miniatures game and not miss anything game-wise, experience-wise. So with Alliance and Covenant, after the Horde expansion, and yeah, they got the token collections, but I don't really count that. I think they're dead. But like I said, to start this little section off, I mean, really, what else can they do for Return to Dark Tower? I'm drawing a complete and utter blank here. Another one that I've been fighting the reality of this. I've been fighting it. I gotta give up the ghost, man. I'm not dying on this hill. And that's the Dungeons & Dragons cooperative adventure system. I mean, this thing is deader than a doornail. I don't know why they let it die. During the big COVID lockdown here in America, the last expansion they came out with was like a mini expansion. It wasn't even a full box. It wasn't a full box standalone. It was an actual half-thick box expansion with just a few new monsters in it, an adventure book, and rules telling you which of the other big boxes to use to pull out the miniatures from that they're writing about in this adventure. And I already did a video about how much that sucked. And I would rather have the series die than have more expansions come out instead of standalone boxes. But, man, I feel bad we never got a monk. We never got an illusionist, among other things. Man. All right, well, also speaking of Dungeons & Dragons, there is the Dungeons & Dragons Mayhem system, the Dungeon Mayhem and the Monster Mayhem system. Super popular with my group. Absolutely fun game. Everyone, I've thrown this down. The Marvel Mayhem as well. Everyone's loved it. They can't get enough of this game. But for some reason, they're dead. Even though there are so many more characters to choose from for Dungeons & Dragons, as well as the Marvel one. No, I imagine it just wasn't selling enough for them to justify making more. That's really sad. Out of all the games on this list, I think that is one of the best that people need to try. And I'm also saying that in part because it's small and easy to carry, easy to learn, easy to play. Not that, Dungeons & Dragons cooperative system isn't worth everyone playing, but it's a huge mess of space and time. Yeah. Something me and the wife were so hot about. But other than the base stuff, the only thing they do is PDFs, and that's Blood in the Clock Tower. I was really hoping there'd be more box stuff coming out for this system, but, they're saving money, they're being smart, and they're just doing it all with PDFs. So, kudos to them, but I would really want the physical stuff. I'm old school, Now, the other 2 aren't dead that I know of. I don't know if they're dying. If these are their last gasps, I hope not. Because they're on my completionist list and I want more stuff. So Horrified, I know, like I said, this is the beginning of March. So I know Horrified is advertised that they're coming out with a Horrified Dungeons & Dragons board game later this year. I am highly excited for that. I can't wait for that. Me, Ron, and a bunch of the other 20-sided warriors are such big fans of the Horrified system and of Dungeons & Dragons. We're definitely biting our nails waiting for this. After that, I mean, I've been pining. I've done 2 videos already, pining on the fact that they should do aliens, ancient aliens or just aliens, whatever. But no, that doesn't seem to be in the pipeline coming down. So I don't know what else they're going to do, where else they can take the Horrified game at this point, except maybe make some mini box expansions for the boxes that are already out, like maybe a Hunchback, a Notre Dame, and Phantom of the Opera 2-pack for Universal. I'd have to put my mind to it. Thinking some cryptids here in America. I'm not thinking cryptids right now. I'm thinking board games. So I don't know what else they could do. I don't know. I hope it's not dead, though. And finally, I want to talk about a game. I know there's a few mini expansions, at least definitely one, I think 2, though, that I've heard of, for Fallen Dominion Studios' huge hit of Fallen Land, the post-apocalyptic board game. And I know that they're coming out with some small boxes for that, but I sometimes speak to the creators, especially John Longren. I love following him on Facebook. He has some, just like me, he's into making big, elaborate, beautiful table builds for his D&D game. And we talk sometimes. So I don't know what huge thing they have planned to come out. You know, maybe a Mexico expansion, big box, or a big box Canada expansion. I mean, maybe they could just go totally overseas, but this way it could also possibly connect to the existing boards. Anything, to make the footprint of this game even bigger, potentially, right? So those are 6, 8, 10. Those are like my 10 games, my 10 most favorite games to be a completionist over, and the process, where they're at, what's going on, and how it looks like half of them are dead. Which means I got to find some new, awesome, cool games to keep following and be a completionist over. So that's it. What games are you a die-hard completionist over? Put that in the comments. Let everyone know. Have a little conversation about this. Thank you for checking things out. I'm your buddy Big John Ed G. The Two Gun Picture presents Legendary Gaming, and I am out of here.